Hi, I'm Stephanie Aber, and this is my reflection for EDIT 5055 and the project that we completed for the fall semester of 2021. The first question that I asked myself was, what decisions did I make and why? So going through the design process, there were a couple of things that I looked at, beginning with the needs analysis. And I came up with a problem statement of teachers need a more hands-on and direct approach to professional development where they see the program in action and time to be mentored in using the program before they are expected to effectively integrate it into instruction. So from the needs assessment, I saw this problem of teachers being asked to implement this program that they had no real prior knowledge of. So after going through, looking at the ISTE standards and deciding that I was going to focus on the collaborator section, which included 4A of dedicated planning time to collaborate with colleagues, then I looked at some key definitions and really dug into the standard itself. After doing this and looking at some explanation text, I saw that I was able to redefine my problem statement. So really research, looking at needs assessment and the overall process of everything was really why I made the decisions that I did and what those decisions were. So then looking at what did and didn't work. Some things that worked throughout the whole process that stayed to the end was co-teaching, teacher-driven implementation, teacher-based decision making, collaboration goals, and observations and sharing. Some things that didn't work that I had to change up were the frequency of meetings, the frequency of administration involvement. Especially after the past couple of years, we've really seen how much our meetings and our administration availability for those meetings has been hindered in my local school district. So I wanted to revisit those to make sure that this process would be a help for teachers and not something else on their plate just to do. Um, Another thing that came up was random pairing selections for co-teaching. After really looking at some feedback, I decided that it would have been better for administration to pick those pairings. They know their teachers and they know more background than just pulling teachers out of a hat and placing them together. Um, and then I wanted my logs, these co-teaching logs that you'll see in the prototypes later, I wanted them to actually be something that the teachers could go back and reference later on. So I did a lot of changing up to those as well. The hardest part of the project overall for me was being able to redefine my problem statement, which I shared with you a while ago, the original one, but redefining that to really narrow down and focus on just one part of technology integration. It was really hard not to get sidetracked into other things and just pick one specific avenue and go with that. The easiest part was probably gathering current teacher input and using it to go through the design process. I am still a classroom teacher currently, and so this is something that my colleagues and I talk about all the time, is just this technology integration because it is such a big push right now. So this part of gathering just other teacher input was pretty easy because it came up in general conversation. If I had to do it again, um, I would probably get more time gathering feedback And I know that I said that was the easy part, but I guess more specific feedback from not only current teachers, but past teachers as well. We've had a lot of teachers retire or move to different fields in the past couple of years, and a lot of it has to do with technology. And so, or at least from the ones I know. So I would really like to get feedback from those. Also, other ULM graduate students in the same program as us, I know we got feedback from students in our course, but maybe reaching out to students in the overall program. And then I really would have liked some time to sit down with administration, because as taking this role on of creating a program to help teachers, really it's administration that's going to have to step in and help with the implementation of this for their teachers. So I wanted to make sure that next time I would talk to them and get their advice on it. And then also current students, um, knowing what students now think of how their teachers are integrating technology, and then maybe even parents as well. And then also, something that I would love to have had time to do is actually piloting portions of the design, being able to see the logs, did that work? Was that helpful? Would the meetings be successful? So, though we have this design, it is all in theory. So it would be nice to see actual portions of it put into practice. So, some things that I learned. I really loved the process overall, just researching and gathering data and then coming up with a solution for a problem that we see in there. The design process just has so many aspects, but I like to digging into each one and really learning the parts of the design process. I also learned that the research can be skewed. Looking at the research that we gathered, even though it was from a large group just titled teachers, in that group, there is a lot of chances for the information to be skewed. And then I also learned that my current status as a classroom teacher was beneficial in helping me to develop my design just because I still have an understanding of what is feasible in the classroom. So I really enjoyed this project and the class overall this semester. And thanks for listening to my reflection.